Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my June and July wrap up. I'm combining the months because I only read 3 books in June, which it's not about the numbers, but I feel like I didn't want to do like a whole video on 3 books. So I'm combining the books from June and July and we're gonna talk about them. First, I read Falling Into Place by Allison Ashley. We all know I love Allison Ashley's books so much. This is the second book after If Tomorrow Never Comes, which I loved that book. So I was so excited for this. This character does show up in If Tomorrow Never Comes, pretty prominent character. So I was very excited for her romance. Basically, the female main character is a stylist and she ends up styling her best friend's brother for this thing that they're doing to promote her best friend's job. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's kind of the plot. And I just love this book. I love Allison Ashley's books. I feel like her writing is just so good. She's so funny. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. This comes out August 19th, which honestly, by the time you see this, August 19th will probably have already passed, so this book will be out. But if you have not read If Tomorrow Never Comes, you should read that. I feel like this is less emotional than If Tomorrow Never Comes, but I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5. I loved the fashion aspect of this because the female main character is a personal stylist, so that was really fun. And also Brooks, the male main character, he is an ICU doctor. I feel like you have to be a very special person to be an ICU doctor, and Brooks was just such a sweet man. I loved him so much. The way he treated Carly, the way he was with just everyone around him, his patients, his friends, I just loved him. I feel like these two are just meant to be together, and I specifically feel like Brooks is like, you could see, especially because he was an ICU doctor, the way that he cared about everyone was so beautiful, and I loved how he cared about Carly and how they brought the best out in each other. If you have not read anything about Allison Ashley, you need to. There is a medical aspect in all of her books, but they do have happy endings if you're worried about that. So anyways, I just love this, and thank you so much, Allison, for the arc. I love her so much. And then next, I read Not Our First Rodeo by Madison Wright, which is her new book. It came out in July, I'm pretty sure, and this is a marriage in crisis accidental pregnancy, which sounded so good. Like, that plot sounds incredible, but I didn't love this book. It was very fast and I read it really fast. Like, I was kind of in a slump obviously in June, so it's hard for me to like be invested in a book. And I feel like this book, at the beginning I was like, oh my goodness, I'm really enjoying this, but then in the middle towards the end I was like, I'm not really enjoying this. Some of the decisions that the female main character was making I didn't really understand, but I still like had a good time reading it. I enjoyed the like cowboy aspect. I probably will continue the series. I feel like the unique plot I really enjoyed. But usually Madison Wright's books are closed door, and I wouldn't say this book is closed door. Honestly, it's like a cracked door, but honestly, like, if you're wanting to read a closed door book, this is not a closed door book in my opinion. Just to let you know, if you've read her other books and they are closed door, this one is not necessarily closed door. Next, I read Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill, which I talked about in my summer book recs video, but I really enjoyed this. This is a cozy fantasy. It follows Jenny Greenteeth, and she is a monster that lives in this lake, and one day a witch ends up falling in her lake, being pushed, should we say, into her lake, and then Greenteeth and this witch go on like a quest to do something for this place that they live in. So I just really had fun with this book. I read it for my coworkers book club at my work, and it was so fun. If you like cozy fantasy, you definitely should read this. We also had like a Zoom call, video chat call with the author, and she's so cool and nice, and I just really enjoyed this. I feel like towards the end there's more high stakes than normal in a cozy fantasy, but I feel like it's still giving those cozy vibes. I feel like the cover kind of is creepy because there's literally a monster in a lake, but Jenny Greenteeth is so funny, like unintentionally funny, kind of like Emily Wilde and Emily Wilde's, like the Emily Wilde series. She's so unintentionally funny, which I love. So I really enjoyed this book. It was just a great time. I did listen to most of it on audio, and the audiobook is really good as well. So love this book. If you like cozy fantasy, you should read this. Now we are into the books that I read in July. So first, I read Shady Hollow by Juno Black. This is a cozy mystery, and it basically follows these woodland creatures solving a murder, which is just so fun. It's a series. I read the second one in August, which I'll talk about then, but I'm just loving the series. It is so cute and fun and wholesome. Each book is like 200 something pages, really short, really quick. So much fun. Like, the vibes are so cozy. I feel like this is perfect for the fall. So if you're wanting to read this, you should wait for the fall. There's so many books in the series, so I'm trying to read them before the next one comes out. So I'll probably read them before technically fall starts, but I'm still having a great time with them. It makes me wish it was fall, but I just love this series. The characters are so sweet. The found family, just all of the woodland creatures are so fun. I am loving the series so much. It was a recommendation from my coworker, and it's so good. So love that. Next, I read Until Summer Ends by Ines Perkins. This is her new release that came out in July. I read this book in a reading vlog, so I won't go too in depth, but basically it is about this girl who ends up going back to her hometown, I think because she had like a family emergency emergency, and then she runs into her childhood best friend. He's a single dad, and it's just so good. This is emotional romance, I would say, but not as emotional as her other books, but I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 star. I love N.S. Perkins books, and this one was so good. I feel like I read it so fast, and I've been in such a slump, so reading a book fast felt really good. The romance was so sweet. I just loved it. I loved the like relationship between the male main character and his kid, obviously, and then the female main character and his kid. I feel like if you're at the beach or the pool and you're wanting an emotional read, you should definitely read this. And if you haven't read any of her books before, this is a great place to start. So love that. And then I read Total Dreamboat by Caitlin Doyle, also in the summer reading vlog, and I love this book. So basically this follows this girl who goes on a cruise ship with her best friend, and she meets this British guy, and you're just following them, and it's so good. I love this book. I almost want to give it 5 stars. It's like so close, like a 4.75, maybe a 5, I don't know. But I just love this book. I love the characters. Caitlin Doyle is now a new favorite author of mine. I don't want to go too much on a ramble because I did talk about this in my reading vlog, but this was just a delight from beginning to end. I love the characters. Their banter was so funny, but their emotional depth, like it was like a fun rom-com, but there was still such good emotional depth. I love the idea of like going on a cruise or like going on vacation and like finding the love of your life. So that was really fun in this book. You also get to see like all the excursions and things they do on this cruise, like on the cruise ship and also like at the ports that they stop at. This book also gave me a similar feeling to Wedding Dashers by Heather McBreen. I loved that book, and I feel like if you love that book, you would enjoy this book. Or if you want some summary reads, you should read that or this. I just love Heather McBreen. Any chance I get to talk about her, I love her. I feel like I loved both characters individually, like their journey throughout this book, but also together. It was really beautiful, and the end was so sweet. I love this book so much. This is the Outgrade edition, by the way. The normal edition doesn't look like this, but this was the summer Outgrade romance box, and I'm just obsessed with this edition. It's beautiful, and I just loved both characters. Felix was such a sweetie, and I had a great time. If you're looking for a summary read before the summer's over, you should read this. I was like sad when the book was over because I missed like these characters. I love them. Next, I read Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. This is her new release. It came out in July, and I couldn't believe she was coming out with another book because she just came out with a book in April. I think it was April, and this was so fun because basically it's about a supermodel and a rock star in the 90s. So basically think Magnolia Parks, but if you put it in the 90s, it's very similar to that because I feel like this is about like high society London, like people in high society London, but just in the 90s, no cell phones, but still like Jessa's signature writing and her like banter between characters. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. It's not my favorite by Jessa Hastings, but I still had such a good time reading it. I read it so fast, and I'm so excited to continue the series. I feel like if you've read Magnolia Parks, the series, you know that like in the first book, you know so little about these characters, and you don't know how little you know until you read Magnolia Parks 2, which you need to read these books in order. You need to read Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks 2, Daisy Hates 3, Magnolia Parks 3, no, Daisy Hates 2, Magnolia Parks 3. Anyways, you need to read them in order, but basically what I'm saying is once you read Magnolia Parks 2, you realize like, oh wow, I didn't know these characters at all in Magnolia Parks 1. Like there's just so many things you learn in the second book. So I feel like with this series, I don't know anything about these characters, but I feel like we're gonna learn so much more about them. But also I feel like it's so hard because the male main character is a rock star in the 90s. So I feel like there's just so much that he's like dealing with in his life. I feel like both characters are dealing with in their life that like makes it so hard to like have a normal relationship, and they have definitely not been to therapy. So if you enjoyed Magnolia Parks, you would enjoy this. If you want to start with Jessa Hastings, I would recommend The Conditions of Will, but I obviously love the Magnolia Parks series so much. But like I said, I'm just so excited for the next books in the series because I feel like it's gonna show so much more about these characters that we don't know yet, which I'm excited about. So next I read Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I read this for my book club, and honestly, if I was not reading it for my book club, I would have DNF'd this book. People are comparing it to Divergent. It's like dystopian fantasy kind of thing. It's basically about this female main character who she has these like powers where she can like read people's minds. She can also like talk to people in her mind and things like that, and then she ends up going and having to train for something. That's kind of the plot. I don't really know how to explain it. I do get the Divergent comparisons, but I also would say like this book, if you just took like Divergent, The Hunger Games, Shatter Me, all these things, like these series, and just put them all together, that's Silver Elite. Like there's nothing unique or new in this series, I'm gonna be honest with you, or this book, but it was just so boring. Like the beginning was pretty interesting, but then like she was just training for 300 pages, and I'm like, I cannot do this. I'm so bored. So I listened to the audiobook of a lot of it, and I am glad that I finished it because the end was kind of cool, interesting, but I don't know if I'm gonna read the second book. It was just announced, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan, and I also didn't like any of the characters. Like the main character, I was like, why would you want to date this man? I did not like him. Anyways, so that is my thoughts on that. Next, I read The Heartbreak Hotel by Eleanor Clover. Berkeley sent me the arc of this. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Look at this cover. And this is a very emotional romance. It comes out September 23rd, and basically it's about this girl who she was dating this very famous singer, and basically they break up, something happens, and she is living in this very nice house in Estes Park, Colorado. And once her and her boyfriend break up, she can't afford to live there, so she asked the landlord, could I make this house a bed and breakfast for the heartbroken? Basically people that are going through heartbreak, that are going through something hard in their life, to come there to kind of heal in this hotel. Hence the title, The Heartbreak Hotel. So that's kind of the plot of this book, and it was so like heartbreakingly beautiful. It was very emotional, but I just absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. When this comes out, you definitely should read it, and the cover is so beautiful. I just love the characters in this book, the found family. Also, Ellen's writing is so good. So good. Also, this is her adult debut. She has some YA books, but I haven't read them. Also, I feel like the male main character is very quiet at first, but I love like every time he would come around, I just like ate it up. Every interaction between the characters I loved. Their love story was so beautiful. The mental health wrap in this was so good, and the setting is so cozy. It's perfect for fall. Like I said, it takes place in Estes Park, Colorado, which is outside of a national park. Can't remember which one. So anyways, I just love this book. I could picture everything so clearly, and I already can't wait to read more from Eleanor Clover. Highly recommend. You should read this book when it comes out. It's so good. Next, I reread The Roommate Pact by Allison Ashley. I've talked about this book so many times. It is so good. Like, I don't really know what else to say besides please read this book. There's innuendos in this book, but it's definitely closed door. But it's basically about an ER nurse and a firefighter and their roommates, and it's so good. Like, if you have not read this, what are you doing? I don't even know what to say like about this book. It's perfect to me. I've read it 3 times and it's so good. Like, what are you doing? Please read this. The main characters, but especially Graham. I love Graham so much. Okay, I'm gonna go on. Next, I read Rookie Season by Leah Brenner and Katie Bailey. This comes out, I think, the 21st of August, and it is a second generation hockey romance. So it follows kids of characters from Leah Brenner and Katie Bailey's books. So it follows the daughter of the couple in I Think He Knows and the son of the characters from, I cannot remember, one of the books from Leah Brenner's series, Desire or Defense, that one. And I just loved it. It's hockey romance, new adult college romance. It's like giving New Girl vibes because she moves in, the female character moves in with like 3 hockey players, which is so fun. I wouldn't say there's spice in it, but it's more like Fade to Black than their other books. And I had so much fun reading it. I gave it 4 stars. I feel like it's their best work. There's gonna be 3 books in the series, and I am so excited for the rest of the series. I need it right now. I love the characters. I love the found family. I loved the slow burn. It was so good. So definitely recommend this book when it comes out. Next, I read The Confidentiality Clause by Anna Conwell. This is her new book. It comes out, no, it's already out. I think it came out last week. And it is her last book in her sports series, and it's basically about the main character has been in her other sports books, but basically he's like a workaholic, and his sister's best friend, like his sister doesn't live in the same area, so she contacts her best friend and is like, hey, can you go check on my brother because he's literally always working. And so she goes and like checks on him and ends up kind of helping him try to do something else besides working. And I love this book. It's one of my favorites in the series for sure. I just had so much fun. It was a great time. I always binge Anna Conwell's books. They're closed door. I feel like they were just so good for each other, and I also love seeing the characters from the previous books. You also get like epilogues for all the characters from the previous books, which I love that Anna Conwell does that in her like last book in the series. The slow burn was so good. I feel like the main characters really went from like kind of not enemies, but like they would kind of like bicker and like go back and forth as kids, and then they grew up and like kind of bickered still, but then like slowly in this book they became like friends and then lovers, which I really enjoyed as well. So sweet. I really enjoyed it. I'm sad that the series is over, but I'm so excited for her next series. Next, I read The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a cozy fantasy, and it was so much fun. I also read this for a book club my coworker was doing. I was like, I already had this book and I needed to read it, and then she was doing it for book club, so I read it, and I did listen to most of this on audio, and the audiobook is so good. But basically this is about Keela, and she is a librarian, and basically she's living on this like main city area, and the people that like I don't know, the head honchos of the city, I don't really know, like start burning down her library. So she's like trying to take all her books, as many as she can get, and then she travels to where she grew up and ends up like finding her house that she lived in and kind of building her life again. And she has an assistant who is a spider plant. He's not on this book, but he's a spider plant and he talks. His name is Kaz and he is so funny. I love him. And basically they make a little jam shop and it's so adorable. There's a little bit of romance in this, but I feel like the romance is definitely a subplot. But I had so much fun with this. If you like a cozy fantasy, you need to read this. Definitely recommend the audiobook. If you think cozy fantasy is slower, I feel like an audiobook is really helpful. And I just had so much fun reading this, listening to this. It was just like a wholesome, fun time. I feel like it was really sweet, like all the people that lived on this island and like the found family and things like that. I really enjoy this and I'm so excited to read the next one. It's a prequel technically called The Enchanted Greenhouse and I'm very excited to read that. So love this book. I actually read 2 cozy fantasies in the past couple months. I'm just in a cozy fantasy, cozy mystery mood. So love that. Okay, the last book that I read in July was Sunken by Heather McBrain. Oh my goodness. This book, first of all, I have been waiting for this book since I finished Wedding Dashers because I remember I finished Wedding Dashers and I DM'd Heather McBrain and was like, girl, this book was so good. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you to write something else. And I like made a Pinterest board I made like an aesthetic post from Pinterest and Heather McBrain had a board, like she hadn't put private yet for her next book and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for it. Anyways, she announced the cover, it went up on NetGalley, I requested it comes out in January and I absolutely binged it. It was so good. Like, you're kidding. One of my favorite books of the year, 6 stars, incredible. It's basically a second chance romance, marriage in crisis, and it is so painful. Like, literally, why was this book so painful? The cover is beautiful, and it was gut-wrenching. It was gut-wrenching. I feel like I haven't had that much pain reading a book since The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. That book killed me, and Sunken also killed me. But basically, the plot of the book is, like, they end up having to go on this family vacation cruise, and, like, having to pretend that they're still married. Oh my goodness. And there's, like, flashbacks, like a few flashbacks to them like meeting and falling in love. It was so good. Heather McBrain's like storytelling and her characters, I love her so much. I love her writing so much. This book was so perfect. And like, you know when you read a book and you're like, this author is meant to tell stories? That's how I feel about Heather McBrain. Like, guys, if you haven't read her books, you're sleeping on her. Well, she only has 1 out right now, but you're sleeping on her. She's so good. Me just like literally pointing at you. You know that TikTok trend's like, my friend is gonna tell you about her outfit or her book, whatever. You better be nice. And that's how I feel about Heather McBrain. Anyways, it was so beautiful, but like gut-wrenching. My stomach was hurting. I love like romance books, obviously, because there's always a happy ending, but I do love a like romance with a marriage in crisis because I feel like it's very realistic. And I feel like this book was very realistic, like depicting relationships. It's like so real and raw to like see 2 people who love each other, but like love isn't always enough. Like you need more than just love for a successful relationship. You have to work at a relationship. I feel like Heather portrayed that so well in this book. I felt so like deeply for each character because they were both struggling with things, but they like both of them so deeply wanted the relationship to work. I loved the forced proximity, the summary setting, the family dynamics. Oh my goodness, it was so perfect. The pacing was so good. I feel like the few flashbacks that we got were so perfect, so perfectly placed in the book. And even though it was brutal, it was so worth it at the end. It had me crying. Who's surprised? And I basically read half the book in one sitting. Heather McBrain's writing is insane. Literally insane. I just cannot get over basically every single sentence that Heather McBrain writes. I can't get over it. I feel like she is in a league of her own in romance. Like, she's one of those authors that I feel like is going to blow up in the next few years, and I implore you to hop on the bandwagon early. Okay? I think if you loved X-Files, you're gonna love this. If you loved Happy Place, you're gonna love this. If you loved Total Dreamboat, you're gonna love this. It almost was like Happy Place meets Total Dreamboat and the X-Files. And I just feel like it was so realistic, and the end especially, like some things that happened in the end, so realistic. I just loved it so much. So basically that's me yapping and ranting about Sunken Love. Like, you need to go read that book when it comes out. You need to read it, but right now you need to read Wedding Dashers. It's so good. So anyways, that's all the books that I read in June and July. I hope you enjoyed me yapping for a very long time. So I'm gonna go. Let me know what videos you want to see this fall. I obviously have ideas for like reading vlogs and just like cozy vlogs in general. But let me know if you have anything specific you want to see, any of my videos that you love like more than others. Let me know. But I think that's it. So I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.